for our Real Justice segment. We're going to talk about Taylor Frankie Paul and the issues going on around The Bachelorette.
Yeah, look at you. Look. Yeah, look. This is called physical abuse.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do is hurt me. Huh? And you think this is okay? It's not okay. Your daughter is right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my. You're unbelievable. No, you. Stop throwing stuff and help your daughter.
Season 22 of The Bachelorette canceled on ABC after the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star Taylor Frankie Paul is seen on video obtained by TMZ throwing bar stools at her ex Dakota Mortensen during a brutal fight in 2023. One of the stools appears to hit her daughter Indy, who was 5 at the time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Let me go. Stop.
you bitch.
Dude, leave me alone. Oh my gosh. You're done. Taylor!
About halfway through the attack, the camera goes black, but you can hear the violence continue.
You're done. Stop. No. I did none of this. This is your own pain. You're doing this to yourself. Stop. No.
Poor baby.
Your daughter just got hit in the head with a metal chair. Because of you? No, you. Go and
so
help
calm.
your daughter. Now. Are you okay? Taylor.
Get away from my daughter! Get away!
This is the first time we've seen video of this fight, which was covered in the pilot of the hit Hulu series.
At this time, you're going to be placed under arrest.
But prosecutors saw it years ago and used it as evidence to file felony charges against Taylor. She eventually pleaded guilty to aggravated assault. Her probation ends in August.
It was, the hardest time of my life, for sure.
So what does Taylor have to say now that the video is public? Well, she argues Dakota is behind the curious timing of the release and additional accusations of domestic violence during the run-up to The Bachelorette's now scrapped premiere.
She's the victim? Are you kidding me?
Sounds like a PR statement of denial.
Okay, from where I stand, his behavior was very calm. If someone threw a chair at my child, I would fucking kill them. I would lose my shit. Are you kidding me?
I would not kill anybody in front of my child. I would call the police, and I think that's the right thing.
No, I would attack. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would if someone threw a metal chair at my child, I would for sure attack them.
I would first attend to my child first. I'd probably run outside with my child and call the police and take him to the ambulance first. That's what I would probably do.
He was very calm of like, tend to your daughter. Are you kidding me? I would be like, you get away from that child. You are no longer deserving of being their parent. Like, that's not okay. How can you even act like that in front of your own kid?
I think the video shows lack of self-control. I don't think that she wanted to hurt her child or intentionally did this, but because she cannot control her emotions, which is even more dangerous. Yeah. If you lose your mind and control over yourself and your anger takes over your entire body, you're so reckless, you can throw anything at anyone without paying attention who you're going to hurt, whether it would be him, and especially doing it in the presence of the child, whether the child was close enough to get hurt or even within the hearing distance of the child. That's extremely damaging and scary and traumatizing. And based on that, he should have gotten 100% custody, and she would be placed on supervised visitation, and would have to jump through a lot of hoops to regain custody slowly.
Oh, that was awful. That poor kid, man.
I mean, I've seen things like that and worse in some of the videos, and the parents do get put on supervised visitation, and If they don't follow the steps, it can be a long, difficult path for them, especially if they're not taking responsibility and blame the other party. That's even worse. Like, if I was his lawyer, I would use those statements she's making now to blame him at a future court hearing when she's seeking more custody. It shows lack of awareness, not taking responsibility, blaming. She's trying to spin this twisted theme that he's out to get her. She's lucky that it just hit the child and they're okay, but it could have been worse. If there have been violations of the restraining order, if he obtained one against her back then he could use the violations of a permanent restraining order through family court. If she violated it, he could file a contempt action in family court against her. And then if she's found in contempt, he can also report it to her probation officer. Violation of a restraining order in family court would be violation of probation terms in criminal court. So then she could go back to jail, potentially, and serve the time. But I don't know, I would have to really look at all the court orders, court minutes, the probation terms, and their court orders from family court. Maybe he never filed a restraining order, I'm not sure. If she thinks that he's out to get her, that suggests that he probably got a restraining order against her, and he probably has more custody right now. If she's saying that and he didn't do those two things, that means he was very forgiving and lenient, more than he should have been, and she's just ungrateful.
Oh, I should not like that.
It's hard to see that, but it happens. And you know, it's a woman doing that. It doesn't matter. Men and women both do it. Yeah, everybody's a human being. And people have mental health issues. Like he said in the video, it's you and it's your problems. I don't know what she's dealing with.
It's your pain, he said.
Huh?
It's your pain. It's you and your pain.
Yeah, so maybe she's on medication. Maybe she has some sort of personality disorder, psychiatric disorder. We don't know. If they did a custody evaluation, which he doesn't need to do because he would have full custody if he wanted to after this event for at least a period of time until she would go back to court and prove herself. But if they ever did custody evaluation, he could request that she undergo psychiatric evaluation, determine whether she has personality disorder. That would be an issue, and parenting and custody plan they may share could be customized around her working on those issues.
Shit happens, relationships are hard and it takes two to tango. I'm sure he wasn't like a perfectly, perfect angel and she just lost it at him. I'm sure there were conflicts, but with that said, I think there's no excuse for behaving that way in front of a child.
Well, look, if I was her lawyer, now I'm going to argue the other side, I would argue that he did something before that. Perhaps, I don't know if it's true, maybe he hit her, maybe he did something that she was, let's say it was self-defense. I bet it was not self-defense because she got convicted of felony, right? So it was not. Interestingly enough, he says in the video, hey, you always do this. A lot of times men just feel like it's not, like they're not going to record a woman, or they're not going to, it's embarrassing and shameful to them to admit the woman is beating them, but it happens. And here he finally records her. Sounds like it's not the first time. But before I saw her throw in the chair, when I started watching the video initially, I heard him narrating what's happening. And I thought, okay, a lot of times people do that for self-serving statements. They make comments to help themselves, thinking they're building evidence against the other person. I thought he was narrating at first and perhaps exaggerating, saying you always do this, right, without proof, just as if it's conclusive that she always does this. But then when she threw the chair, I'm like, all right, the guy certainly has a point, and she's got anger issues.
Yeah. I don't know. I could never do family law. I could never, deal with that and then not, go home and not, carry that with me.
If she was my client, I would tell her, get an individual counselor, go to some intensive therapy, get anger management, because it's not just about, doing what's right for the court, but if you have a child, chances are when the other parent is not there and you get angry, you'll be abusive to that child because you can't control yourself. And then when the other parent is not there, you're going to be back in court because the child will be complaining about you. And the other person who's not there will want to return to protect the child, but they have no proof because it's child's words, and the other parent is not there to see what happened anymore because they live in separate homes. So that's where people often return back to court to present to the judge what they're hearing from the child. They have no real proof or evidence. And what I've seen happen often is the judges may not believe what this person is saying because they were not there. So how do you know? Well, my child told me. Well, your child is 5 years old or 7 years old. Do they lie sometimes? Yeah. And another parent will show circumstance where, the child may be exaggerating or, something that will dissuade the court from believing that this is the truth. And unless you have photographs or other professionals involved, like school counselors, therapists, coaches, someone else who can support the accusations, it may be difficult to convince the court that something is going on just based on child's statements. If there was a restraining order in the past like this, then obviously it gives the party who's complaining a lot more credibility returning back to court. If that hasn't happened in the past, or it happened but it was somebody never went to court to get a restraining order, then you have to slowly build the case and gather the evidence, because without it, the court may not find it convincing that you will become the better parent.
Yeah.
Well, what proof do you have? Well, my child tells me that, she screams at them and she throws things in a house. Were you there? No. How do you know? Well, my 5-year-old tells me that, and she complains and she comes back home scared, and, she said, Mommy told me not to tell anybody. Okay. And then you go to court with that. Then the angry parent will then punish the child. And then, okay, you go back to court again. And the child will not tell you anything next time because you're scared. So this can drag on for years, and a lot of parents are looking for that proof. I think you need to consult with an attorney to really find out, for your specific circumstances, how do you prove this?